भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था में बीएसई पिछले 140 वर्षों से अहम योगदान निभा रहा है। इतने लंबे वक्त में बीएसई ने कई उपलब्धियां हासिल की हैं। 140 वर्षों से देश सेवा में बीएसई के योगदान को अब एक नई पहचान स्मारक डाक टिकट के रूप में दी गई है। 9 जुलाई को बीएसई पर स्मारक डाक टिकट जारी किया गया। इस अवसर पर दिल्ली में आयोजित कार्यक्रम में केंद्रीय वित्त मंत्री अरुण जेटली ने बीएसई का स्मारक डाक टिकट जारी किया। कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ राष्ट्रगान की धुन के साथ हुआ। इसके बाद दीप प्रज्वलन का कार्यक्रम हुआ। इस अवसर पर यहां आए मेहमानों का स्वागत किया गया। बीएसई के स्मारक डाक टिकट जारी होने के सुनहरे अवसर पर राजनीति और कारोबार से जुड़ी दिग्गज हस्तियों ने शिरकत की। इस खास अवसर पर केंद्रीय वित्त मंत्री अरुण जेटली ने अपने विचार साझा किए।
The chairman of the BSE, Shri Sudhakar Rao, Shri Ashish Chauhan, Shri Sharma, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely grateful to the BSE for having invited me for this formal but extremely important occasion, where 140 years of the BSE have been celebrated by the commemorative stamp which has been brought out by the Postal Department. 140 years history is a long one, and it's a history of a period where the world has seen a changing economic order. The setting up of stock exchanges a few centuries ago in various parts of the world, in fact, was one of the major economic steps of transformation. There were circumstances, Ashish told me, that there was a collapse of cotton industries in certain parts of the world, and the domestic cotton industries needed capital. And therefore, the economic necessity itself gave birth to the BSE. But I think one of the greatest revolutions that took place in raising capital, which eventually transformed into wealth generation, was this whole idea of a company having a distinct identity, and a company having a larger body of shareholders, each unknown to the other. And if it is publicly listed, providing an opportunity to investors all over to choose the very best and invest through that mechanism itself. I wonder if this whole concept of a distinct corporate identity and its entitlement to raise capital and its limited liability distinct from those who manage the company, if this concept globally had not been created some centuries ago, whether economic transformation of the world would have taken place at all. And therefore, it was very important even today that this principle is upheld, because raising capital and generating wealth and then using that wealth to enrich the society is based on this premise. We occasionally dilute this distinction when fraudulent activities take place. this itself was probably one of the most major steps towards industrialization of the world itself. And for India's oldest stock exchange, it's extremely important that not only does it continue to prosper, in order to prosper, the credibility of such institutions is extremely important. And to maintain the credibility of these institutions, I think now slowly there is an evolution over the last 20, 25 years of having a strong regulatory mechanism also in place, so that through the supervisory eye of that regulatory mechanism, we are able to ensure that they work with a lot of credibility and they are able to deliver the very purpose for which they were created. I wonder at times if the best of the BSE and NSE is yet to come. And this is obviously for the reason that having had tighter and regulated economic policies in the past, a lot of economic opportunities which have otherwise come to us had missed us. We tried to catch up some 25 years ago, and there is a crying necessity that nothing must be left unturned today. No opportunity must be lost. Because for almost a very long period prior to that, we had lost several opportunities. And obviously the essence of all economic activity is investment. And investment will have to come from wherever the resource is available. India has another peculiar characteristic, that we are a society where the percentage of domestic savings is normally quite high. Now, whether domestic savings are only to be used by such instruments which give you a higher interest return and therefore create a interest regime which is extremely costly and makes the economy sluggish, or higher returns are to be got from such instruments, funds, bonds, shares. A lot of them have also an element of secured investment in them, which can give to people a very respectable return itself. That's the basis on which pension funds and other bonds world over have been functioning. And I think these are areas of advances as we grow over the next several years and decades. More and more opportunities are going to come to us. As long as I can look down through the tunnel, for a reasonably long period of time, we are going to need a lot of investment. The infrastructure deficit, the industrialization deficit, which has existed for decades, is something we have to cover up for. And the starting point of all activity has to be an investment. It has to be resource raising. It has to be important companies in the private sector, at times a public-private partnership, which will ensure that this deficit is met. And there is no better instrument for all this than institutions like the BSE itself. The last few years have seen India grow well, but essentially grow well on the strength of enhanced public investment, on the strength of enhanced foreign direct investment. The best of the private sector in that development process is yet to be seen. Various reasons are mentioned, that it was feeling stressed and so on. There was absence of demand. Hopefully, there are some signs of improved urban demand. And since the rain gods appear to be kinder this year, there would be signs of increased rural demand itself. And all this in turn would lead to an opportunity for the private sector itself. And all that entails a lot more activity at the end of the institutions like the BSE itself. And as I said, that the best of their activities and their opportunity is probably yet to be seen. This is not to undermine what they've already done in the past. It's to prepare them for the greater challenges of the future. And I'm sure the BSE would get itself ready for this act, because this is an opportunity which can come India's way. And I'm sure we'll collectively be able to utilize it to the optimum. I wish you all the very best. And I'm delighted that the Postal Department has created an institutional memory in terms of a stamp in order to commemorate this great event.
आगे देखिए बीएसई के स्मारक डाक टिकट जारी होने के अवसर पर बीएसई एमडी एंड सीईओ आशीष कुमार चौहान के विचार। बीएसई के स्मारक डाक टिकट जारी होने के सुनहरे अवसर पर बीएसई एमडी एंड सीईओ आशीष कुमार चौहान ने बीएसई की उपलब्धियों का जिक्र किया।
Honorable Union Minister of Finance, Shri Arun Jaitley ji, Chairman BSE, Shri Sudhakar Rao ji, Postmaster General Delhi Circle, Shri L.N. Sharma ji, Honorable members of Parliament, directors on the board of BSE, current and senior officials of Ministry of Finance, SEBI, Department of Post, other departments, ambassadors of different countries, prominent industrialists, lawyers, intellectuals, members of BSE, some of who have come from Mumbai, Calcutta, Ahmedabad, Bikaner, and other far-off places, media personnel, other distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great privilege and an honor to welcome all of you to this unveiling ceremony of postage stamp to commemorate completion of 140 years of continuous functioning of BSE. BSE was set up today, on this very day, July 9, in 1875. The entire year, we have been celebrating as the 140th year of BSE. We are grateful to the Union Government, Ministry of Post and Telecom, and Ministry of Finance for bestowing us with this great honor. Continuous operation of BSE for 140 years is a testament to the strength of Indian entrepreneurship and tell us the story of wealth creation. During the last 140 years of operations, BSE has acted as a catalyst for helping India create wealth of more than 104 lakh crore rupees, that is US $1.5 trillion. BSE is ranked today as the largest stock exchange in the world in terms of number of companies listed, with more than 5,400 equity shares. BSE is also ranked as the fastest stock exchange in the world with 6 microseconds response time. In 1 second, there are a million microseconds. BSE gives you state-of-the-art technology experience befitting modern Indian technological prowess and commercial prowess also, to promote the entrepreneurial energy and job creation. All through its existence, BSE has focused more on investments and less on speculation. BSE will continue to help India grow in future with investment-oriented focus, which will help India create more jobs. Over the last few years, BSE has become more high-tech and also has become a multi-product exchange. From offering only equity offerings, BSE offers now equity derivatives, currency derivatives, interest rate futures, SME, mutual funds, offer for sale, bonds, secondary market, sovereign gold bonds, EIPO, etc. BSE also has plans, sir, to set up commodities exchange as soon as the approvals are received. In line with the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, BSE is also in the process of setting up a new international exchange in GIFT City, which will trade in equity derivatives, currencies, interest rate, commodities, etc. in Gandhinagar soon. In line with the Government of India's focus on Startup India, Stand Up India, BSE has taken leadership in SME segment, for which rupees 1,000 crore already have been raised for SMEs, and market capitalization of the SME listed companies, 141, has reached more than 10,000 crores. BSE Institute has also set up an incubator with the Canadian University, Ryerson University, which has helped 78 companies, small companies, to raise funds from various other sources. Shri Arun Jaitley, sir, you have been a source of great inspiration for us at BSE. The revival of BSE truly started under your fair and transparent administration, sir. We will remain indebted to you forever for creating policies that provide level playing field for Indian exchanges after a long time. Sir, over the last 2 years, you have also provided enabling environment for Indian entrepreneurs to focus more on their business rather than coming to North Block frequently. You have prepared an economic framework which has stood India in good stead and created conditions which make India a lone shining star with high growth rate in the midst of tough international economic conditions. Today, India's growth rate is considered to be the highest among all large countries in the world. It is a testament to your economic policies. More importantly, you have prepared Indian economy for even higher growth trajectory. I am sure India is poised to grow at more than 8% this year under your leadership. I would like to take this opportunity to profusely thank you, sir, for your kind gesture of agreeing to be present here today as the chief guest for this momentous occasion for BSE. We are deeply honored with your gracious presence. With these words, I once again welcome you all to this wonderful event to celebrate the long and continuous working of one of India's greatest institutions. BSE, which started in 1875 as the Native Share and Stockbrokers Association, and which is one of the rare institutions of India, which has traversed 3 centuries continuously, 19th, 20th, and 21st century. As they say, the journey has just begun. Look forward to your continued support in the coming decades.
आगे देखिए बीएसई के स्मारक डाक टिकट जारी होने के अवसर पर बीएसई के चेयरमैन सुधाकर राव के विचार.
And the remarkable journey of the institution.
बीएसई के स्मारक डाक टिकट जारी होने के सुनहरे अवसर पर बीएसई के चेयरमैन सुधाकर राव ने भी अपने विचार रखे.
It was on 9 July 1875 that the Native Share and Stockbrokers Association, one of the first all-Indian members entities formed during the British Raj, came into being. A little over 141 years later, today we celebrate and acknowledge that historic moment and the remarkable journey of the institution thereafter with the release of the commemorative postal stamp. The association, which was rechristened as the Bombay Stock Exchange in 1899, is the first stock exchange of Asia and obviously the oldest. Today, as Ashish has pointed out, it is the fastest stock exchange in the world with the speed of 6 microseconds and also the largest stock exchange in terms of the number of companies listed. Almost a decade ago, we decided to corporatize and demutualize the exchange. Currently, apart from all the public sector banks and LIC, we have the Deutsche Börse and Singapore Stock Exchange as our strategic investors. BSE is now professionally managed with the board and the management committed fully towards transparency and accountability. As a corollary to good corporate governance, we have applied for and received in principle approval for IPO from SEBI.
बीएसई निवेश मंथन एक मंच है। इस कार्यक्रम के जरिए अगर आपके मन में किसी तरह का कोई सवाल है तो आप सोशल नेटवर्किंग साइट्स पर भी सवाल कर सकते हैं। हमारा फेसबुक अकाउंट है बीएसई इंडिया। इसके साथ साथ जो लोग ट्विटर पर एक्टिव हैं वो हमें @BSE India पर अपने सवाल भेज सकते हैं। बीएसई के तमाम वीडियो और अन्य कार्यक्रमों को देखने के लिए आप YouTube के बीएसई इंडिया अकाउंट पर भी देख सकते हैं। बीएसई निवेश मंथन में आप हमें बीएसई इन्वेस्टर प्रोटेक्शन हेल्पलाइन नंबर पर फोन कर अपना सवाल पूछ सकते हैं। हमारा नंबर है 022-227-28097। हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स आपके हर सवाल का जवाब देंगे। बीएसई इन्वेस्टर प्रोटेक्शन फंड के लिए न्यूज रूम मीडिया की प्रस्तुति।